Hello everybody, good morning and welcome to the United Stand. This is your latest Manchester United news and we are fresh with some very big news from the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer press conference for the Brighton and Hove Albion game, or Brighton, and it revolves around Angel Gomes and it is not looking very good around Angel Gomes at all. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was asked about He was asked about Angel Gomes twice. His first comment was there was no news and it looks like he's going. He was then asked by James Cooper, I think, is he leaving? And basically he said in a short word, it looks like yes. I mean, I want to get into this Angel Gomes thing because ultimately, on a positive note, he's not a first team player. And, you know, there's no reason to cry. It's not Paul Pogba, it's not Bruno Fernandes. However, as many United fans will be feeling right now, there's a symbolic element to this and it's got layers. But what I want to say is this. People, for God's sake, there are people out there for the last 6 weeks, Twitter in the know accounts with 20,000 followers who are only following 5 people. Angel Gomes contract agreed. People who are charging you £5 a month for inside information. Angel Gomes contract agreed. It's not. These people have got to stop bullshitting people. Like, I've been saying this for weeks. If I hear something, I'll tell you it. But I ain't going to tell you that there's a bloody new contract been signed when I know for a fact that he hasn't signed a contract. If he'd signed a contract 2 months ago, he would have signed the bloody contract. If he signs a contract tomorrow, those people aren't right. Because as Ollie has said, and as many people around the club know, he's not agreed to sign a contract. It's looked close at times. He's been thinking about it. He may still change his mind last minute. But the reality is, there's no contract that's been signed for Manchester United by Angel Gomes. And all these bullshitters who put it out and people who believe it and go, oh yeah, well they know such and such. They're in a WhatsApp group. They don't know sod all. Angel Gomes has not signed a contract and it looks like he's not going to sign a contract now. Now I hope that he is, and I really hope that he is, but this bullshit's got to stop. It really has. People really genuinely thought he'd signed a contract and they're just waiting for the right time. He hasn't signed a new contract. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer this morning has come out and said that in a word, it looks like he's going yes. Now, what does that really mean? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did not look happy this morning. He even said, you know, I've woke up this morning, there's no news about him accepting the deal, so it doesn't look like it's going to get done. What you need to understand with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is this. He is the manager of Manchester United. He is not the chief negotiator. And this, for me, feeds into Erling Haaland, Jude Bellingham, and now Angel Gomes. There is a recurring theme here. We cannot hide behind signing Harry Maguire for 80 million, signing Wan-Bissaka for 50 million, and signing Bruno Fernandes for 50 million. Those deals were not hard deals. 80 million for Harry Maguire, of course Leicester are going to sell him. Good signing, but bloody expensive. Wan-Bissaka, 50 million. Of course Crystal Palace are going to sell him. 50 million to Sporting Lisbon for Bruno. Of course they're going to sell him. These aren't deals to do high fives for and say, we're back. They're straightforward deals. You've spent the money of what they're probably worth, maybe a little bit more. That's not my point. They're not hard deals to do. And as I keep telling you, we weren't going to sign Bruno Fernandes. We signed him because we didn't get Haaland and because Pogba and McTominay got injured. It was a desperation January signing. Maybe we would have bought him in the summer, but we weren't going to buy him in January, and we definitely weren't signing him last summer because we backed off. There is a problem with Manchester United's negotiation, and until they rectify it, I will keep saying this. We're a business, not a football club. There's a lot of good stuff going on with what Solskjaer and the team are doing. But Liverpool are title holders and we are in 6th now. We need to be at the top of the table of football. This isn't moaning. This isn't the negative stand. This isn't a rant. This is, I want Manchester United Football Club to be the best football club in England. And to do that, we've got to stop messing about on negotiations and get real. Get proper. Be a football club, not a bloody business. What's gone wrong with Angel Gomes there? And look, people can say, oh, I don't want him anyway. He looks a bit small to me. He'll never make it. I don't give... Those points are absolutely irrelevant. And they are irrelevant to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because Manchester United wanted him to stay. They wanted him to stay and he's not going to. So that is a snub. It's not about we've let him go, that's a mistake. We want him to stay. He's not going to. We want to sign Jude Bellingham. He's not going to. We wanted to sign Erling Haaland. He's not going to. Ollie had a meeting with Timo Werner. He's going to Chelsea. What's going wrong with Manchester United's negotiations? And whatever you want to say about Harry Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, Bruno Fernandes, you know because you lived it. We took weeks on those deals. Weeks. 2-3 years ago, on a Sunday night, Liverpool were linked to Fabinho at 8 o'clock. They bloody signed him by 9 o'clock. You know, same with Werner and Chelsea. That was very quick. It was done in an afternoon, really. United are slow. We are slow sports news in relation to signing deals. We let contracts run down. We live off our reputation that actually these owners have destroyed. We can't do what we did with Roy Keane in the early 90s. He's basically shook hands with Blackburn and Kenny Dalglish. Sir Alex Ferguson gets on the phone over the weekend and says, come to United, and it's bye-bye Kenny. Those sort of deals we can't do at the moment. We're not that club anymore. We're a business, not a football club, and we need to start acting like a bloody football club and stop acting arrogantly on brand Manchester United and make it about Manchester United, the football club. Why the hell is Jude Bellingham coming to Carrington, meeting Sir Alex Ferguson, meeting Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and not signing for United? He's going to bloody Dortmund in a bloody Poundland Premier League. Like, that's a crap league to go to. Oh, he's going to get a bit of first team football. I think he'd get it here. We've offered him first team football, so why is he not coming here? Negotiation ability. Why is Angel Gomes not signing a new contract at United? Negotiation ability. What are we offering him? Not enough, obviously. Why did Haaland go to Dortmund? Well, it's about a release clause. No, I think the path that they offer him is better. Absolutely better. And look, you cannot get annoyed by this. You can say, oh, it's only this. But what annoys me is bigger than Angel Gomes, and I see it in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's eyes this morning in the press conference. He ain't getting what he needs to do the job. You know, Ander Herrera left the club. He didn't want him to go either. That was because the club had let his contract run down. There are issues in Manchester United above Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. This is not on Solskjaer. I am not blaming Solskjaer. He wants Gomes to stay, Gomes goes. He wants Bellingham to come, Bellingham doesn't come. He wants Haaland to be a striker, Haaland doesn't come. At some point, these numbers are stacking up. Our manager is not getting the things he wants because our negotiation team are failing again, like they failed under Mourinho, like they failed under Van Gaal. What's going on at Manchester United? And the big overarching thing here is Liverpool are the title holders. How are we supposed to catch a 30-something point gap when our manager isn't getting the things he wants? He's having to settle for nothing or second best. We've got to sort this out. It's embarrassing. We wanted Bellingham. We wanted Gomes to stay. They ain't here. And it's not good enough. It's not good enough. And to mask it and paper the cracks with a win against Norwich and a win against Sheffield United and a win tomorrow night against Brighton, these help, but you've got to build the whole picture. You can't just deal with, you know, what's in front of you today. There's a whole background story here. You know, it's like a book. We're trying to write a book. And you can't just say, well, that page was good, and then you turn over and it's blank. We've got to build the whole book at Manchester United. And it is frustrating. But what I would say about Angel Gomes, before I get into the rest of it, what I would say about Angel Gomes is, the one thing I would say about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on this, the mistake I would say, and this might be why Angel Gomes isn't signing as well, he hasn't been given the game time he should have been given. And I will go in on Ollie a little bit about this, but I will also let it go a little bit because, look, I'm behind Ollie at the moment. I saw in his eyes today a disappointment. You know, he's through in the FA Cup. He's got a big game tomorrow, but you can tell he's not happy about the Angel Gomes thing because, and look, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will back the Glazers because they're his boss. Of course he will. But whatever they call it, non-verbal communication is massive. And I'm quite good at reading it. I'm sure you are. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer today is disappointed. He's disappointed. You can tell when he's talking about Angel Gomes, he's disappointed. Heartbroken, been following Angel since he was 16. Always my favourite youth player. Came to speak with plus sign fans for Palace. Didn't even play, says Eric Guerrera. And this is what I'm going to say. And you know I'm going to say this. This, for me, is where Ollie has made a mistake. Lingard played again. Mata played again on Saturday. They are crap. Lingard's had more chances than a cat's lives. He has absolutely, let's not get into Lingard. That's not what it's about. But let's just deal with Ollie. Ollie has given Lingard more chances than anybody. And he's let him down every single time. That's not on Lingard. For me, I think Lingard needs to go. And I think he knows he needs to go. But that's on Ollie. At what point? He figured that out. Has he even figured it out now? Will Lingard start again in a game or two? He's given Lingard so many chances. He's given Mata loads of chances. He's given Pereira loads of chances. How many times has he given Gomes a chance? Now, people can say, well, he's not good enough, he's too small, blah, blah, blah. Lingard and Pereira have been trash in the United shirt. Like, absolutely not, 3 and 4s out of 10. Awful. So Angel Gomes might not be ready, but how much worse can he be than 3 or 4 out of 10? And surely he deserves a chance to be given a 3 or 4 out of 10. He's not been given the opportunity. So to be honest with you, if I'm Angel Gomes, I'm sat there going, you know what? I want to be here, but look at how I've been treated over the last year. And is that going to change next year? If I'm not getting game time when Lingard and Mata and Pereira are, how am I getting game time if they're going to be bringing in Grealish? If they're going to, if they've got all these midfielders? And I think that is probably where Ollie, if there is any blame to be attached to Ollie, I personally, and a lot of people won't agree with me, I would personally say, I've been saying this all season, why has Gomes not been given a few opportunities? I think every time he started Lingard, Pereira, they've let us down and they've not been good enough, and he's been willing to give them chance after chance after chance, but Gomes hasn't been given a chance, and maybe that's a part of his decision making as to why he's going. But ultimately, I would say the real issue has been negotiations, because the fact that Gomes is in negotiations, it's not like it's never been that he was definitely going. He's never been, I'm going. It's always been negotiations. And as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said when he looked very disappointed this morning, he said, discussions last night, I've not heard anything, so yeah, it looks like he's going. So there obviously has been a willingness from Gomes and whoever his agents are to stay at United, and negotiations have not been met. Where will he go? Probably Chelsea. And I tell you what, I wish him all the best. I'm not going to be one of those players. If he goes, I'm not going to be one of those fans. If Angel Gomes leaves, I wish him all the best. I'm not one of those people who's going to be bitter and say I hope he fails. If he goes on and succeeds, then it's on the Glazers, it's on the negotiation team, because these things shouldn't happen. Thank you, Mark. Well said. Keep up the pressure, says 4Ace. And Man United is just becoming hypocrites. They want to build a team for the future, but don't respect younger players. I hate that this is happening to us, says Alpha Shark. And Robert McCormack, if he was desperate to keep him, he would give him what he wanted. I'm glad we ain't being held to ransom over someone that's done nothing in the game. 30 grand a week. Do me a favour. Well, that's the other side of the coin. That's the other side of the coin from Robert. But ultimately, I think that this is embarrassing. I think, what are we left with? We're left with 49-year-old Juan Mata, 28-year-old Jesse Lingard, and Andres Pereira, and Angel Gomes walks out the club. The future walks out the club. Potential future. Let me be frank. Whereas we keep hold of this deadwood that just keeps letting us down, that are never going to be good enough. They're never going to... As I said on Saturday, expensive deadwood. Mata, 140 grand a week. Lingard, probably 100 grand a week. Pereira, God knows what a week. Not good enough players. Easily over 200 grand a week we're paying them. And we won't give Angel Gomes 30 grand a week. A player that could be part of our future. 30 grand a week is nothing to United. And you've got Robert saying, oh, good, let him go. Don't give him 30 grand a week. When Mata's on 5 times more than that. Jesse Lingard's on 3 times more than that, and you're going, don't give him 30 grand a week. I mean, for me, and if you're tuning in, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer press conference basically saying that Angel Gomes is leaving Manchester United. For me, it's a mistake, and I don't think Ole wants him to go, and I think it's down to the negotiations, but this, to me, is a bigger picture. Jude Bellingham. We are being snubbed by young players. Haaland is young, teenager. Bellingham, 16. Angel Gomes, teenager. And at the club, we are getting snubbed by young players. Why are we getting snubbed by young players? Manchester United, the team that develops young players. Ollie himself was talking about Rashford. We develop young players. Why are we getting snubbed by young players? Something is going wrong in that football club, and I think it's negotiations. I think it's business over football. I think it's, we want you, but we're going to try and bleed you dry. We're not going to give you what you want. We want to get you for cheap. And people are going, you know what? I'd love to play for United, but up yours. Dortmund are giving me more. Chelsea are giving me more. Up yours. Because we're being run by a club. And Robert's right. Robert's opinion is very valid and I respect it, but I disagree with it. You sitting there going, oh, we shouldn't be held to ransom. You're basically signing up to the Glazer dividend club. Because what are you talking about being held for ransom? It's not your bloody money, mate. This money is the fans' money. This is sponsorship money that comes in because of our fan base. Manchester United have got millions and billions of pounds. Well, not billions, but millions and millions, hundreds of millions of pounds because of you. Because of you. Because we've got the biggest fan base and the sponsors want our eyes and they want your subscription fees and they want you to buy the shirts. It's you. You pay that money as well. This money is your money, but it isn't. It's the Glazers' money. So when you say we won't be held to ransom, you ain't bloody Malcolm Glazer or anybody else. You're not Ed Woodward. You're just a fan. You don't have a say, and you cannot sit there and say we won't be held to ransom. What are you on about? What's the problem with being held to ransom? We should be a bloody football club, not a business club. What are you worrying about paying someone 30 grand a week for? Why? This is the mentality that we've allowed to be brought into this club by being a business. People think like that. Oh, well, we shouldn't overpay. Oh, we shouldn't pay those wages. Why? Why shouldn't we overpay? Why shouldn't we pay them wages? Somebody else is going to bloody do it, and then we don't get what we want. It's a weird mentality that's crept in over the years. Because of how the club is run, we're run like a bloody business. Why do people care about people's wages? Like, we want to win. I don't give a toss what we pay people's wages for. I'll give a toss if we're overpaying on crap. I think, why did we give Juan Mata 150 grand a week for the next 2 years when he's dusted? You know, he's finished. That's a waste of money, but that's negotiations. That's like giving it. That was Alexis Sanchez 400k. Stupid, absolutely stupid. Nobody else would do it. But if Chelsea are going to give Angel Gomes 30 grand a week, we should give him 30 grand a week. Like, we shouldn't. Don't let them off the hook with, wow, yeah, we shouldn't be held to ransom. That's an absolute bollocks. How does that help us? Well, Bellingham can go to Dortmund. Why should we be held to ransom? Oh, Haaland can go to Dortmund. Why should we be held to ransom? What's next? Sancho, you know. Hi, Mark, just became a member. Love the content from Australia, says Lachlan Thompson. I actually tweeted this morning with no prior knowledge that Ollie was going to come out and say Angel Gomes is leaving. But I tweeted it this morning. You can check it out on @MarkGoldbridge. And I said, on every memo that goes around Manchester United Football Club, it should say, we are a business, not a football club, and we need to be a football club. It's why we fail. Because we're not a football club, we're a bloody business. And so many people know it. Did we get any injury updates, says Ewan? No. And John G says, imagine having a rant over a Hobbit who was never good enough for the Fellowship, let alone Manchester United. We need Ruben Neves at CDM. You're just an idiot, John G. You're being an absolute idiot there. Like, welcome to John G, the Glazers fanboy. I mean, ridiculous comment. And those sort of comments help the Glazers keep just churning out their crap for their dividends. This is an absolute embarrassment in relation to our negotiating ability again. We've negotiated badly and we've lost out on a player. We let Ander Herrera's contract run down. We let De Gea's contract run down, and surprise, surprise, he starts performing badly on the pitch. And people saying, well, you're a professional, you shouldn't perform badly because of what's going on privately. Look what's happened to Dean Henderson, best goalkeeper in the league. 2 weeks ago, everyone's saying we want him as United's number one. He starts making mistakes because concentration in high-level sports is very important. But United don't think that. They'd rather save 100 grand a week. Oh, let's let Martial and David De Gea's contracts run right down and make them feel insecure. It won't impact on them on the pitch. Of course it bloody does. We're run like a business and not a football club. We don't put what's happening on the pitch as the first priority. We don't. We put what's happening in the bank balance as the priority, and we're going to keep failing while we do that. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to be a miracle worker if he gets us anywhere near a title with what's going on above him, because these stupid decisions around negotiations have got to stop. I don't care whether the Glazers go or not. I don't care whether Woodward's CEO or not. They've got to stop being a football club. You cannot have Ole Gunnar Solskjaer saying, I want Jude Bellingham, and not getting him. You can't have Ole Gunnar Solskjaer saying, I want Erling Haaland, and not get him. You can't say Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants Angel Gomes, and then not get him. It's starting to stack up. The job's hard enough. Give him what he bloody well wants. Otherwise, when he does fail, he'll be in the paper again, like Mourinho was, like Van Gaal was, like Moyes was, and they will all be saying, and Ole will be saying what they all said. It's very hard when you're not getting what you want. And this is a running theme. Whatever you... look, Mourinho should have been sacked. I didn't like Van Gaal and couldn't stand Moyes. But they all got the same thing coming out. I didn't get what I wanted. And we're already seeing that with Ole. I said this a year ago. If Solskjaer's going to get the job, he's inexperienced. He must be given everything he needs because he's inexperienced as well. You can't have an arm behind his back and be inexperienced. And already we're seeing he's not getting the things he wants because they'll be there going... Sorry, Ollie, I know you wanted that to happen, but we can't go above 25 grand a week for Angel. I know Chelsea are going to play 30, but we can't do that. We need that. We've got to be saving a bit of money here. Piss off. You know, Mark, don't waste any more time on players leaving, getting contract offers from other clubs. It's par for the modern footballers. Focus on getting an interview with the board. That would be good, says Britzer Board. You're having a bloody laugh. Do you think the board are going to actually sit down with anybody who's not anybody who's going to ask a difficult question, anybody who gets an interview with Ed Woodward, whoever they are, prefabricated questions. I won't answer that. I won't answer that. I won't answer that. I will answer that. You keep towing the party line as well, and I'll keep giving you little interviews and access to the press conference. That's how it works. I'll never get an interview with anybody at Manchester United. Not because I'm an arsehole, not because I'm negative, but because I care and because I'll ask the questions that everybody should be bloody asking. But they won't ask it because they're on the gravy train and they don't want to be, left out in the cold. But what they don't bloody realise is my agenda is not an agenda based on anything else other than Manchester United being the best club in the world. And if any of those ever listen, I don't care whether I get an interview with Ed Woodward, just listen to what I and many others are saying. We're not saying it for views, we're not saying it for bloody anything else other than United being the best club in the world. That's the only thing that frustrates me. I want United to be the best because I know we should be the best. We are the Juventus of England. We are the Real Madrid of England. We are the PSG of England. But actually, we've turned into the Everton of England. We're a bloody club fighting for 5th place, and we have been for 7 years. I want United to be the best. That's all I want. So instead of dismissing these opinions as, radical fans who don't know what they're on about, actually start listening. Why are you messing it up in public again? Liverpool won the title on Friday. We lose a player publicly that we clearly want to keep again. Bellingham's going to sign for Dortmund anytime. We lose a player that we want publicly again. Just start acting. All I want is this club to act like a football club and not a bloody business. I'm fed up of it always being about business decisions, and it makes it very, very difficult. Anyway, let's move on with the press conference. So hopefully tomorrow or today, Angel Gomes signs a contract. Maybe he changes his mind. Heath Chong did. But as I said, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was asked about it twice today and basically said that Angel Gomes is going. And he looked very disappointed. And I'm disappointed for Ole as well. I sort of get why Angel's going, but I am disappointed for Ole. We're more desperate for a sporting director and probably the players' deals will be done much faster, says Soccer Legends from Theatre. Well, again, look, we could talk about this all night. All day. We need to talk about the press conference. But how many times have you been saying we need a sporting director or a football director or a director of football or whatever you want to call it? But the people in power at United won't relinquish that. It's selfish dreams over what's important. If you were running a proper football club, we would have had a sporting director 4 years ago, 5 years ago. But certain people in that club with no footballing background, they're bankers, they're not football people, they won't relinquish the power because it's like a pimped up game of Football Manager to them. They wake up every morning with a big smile on their face. I'm in charge of transfers at Manchester United and all I've ever done is be a bank manager. And that's what we've got. We don't have. This is factual. Mourinho said it 3 years ago. Above me, there's nobody with football knowledge. It's all on me. But he has to ask somebody for a transfer. How messed up is that? Mourinho said this. Above Jose Mourinho, there's nobody with football knowledge. And yet he gets told no. Now look, to be fair, they got it right on Martial. That was right. But, that was a failing on Mourinho's part. But the same happened with Van Gaal and the same happens with Ole now. If they say I want to sign a player, somebody tells them no. But it's not somebody with any football knowledge. All it is a bank manager. And there's the answer for you. I'm Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Go and sign me Jadon Sancho this summer because we desperately need him. You can't have him. Why? Because he's too expensive. Right, okay. Get me Angel Gomes on a new contract. You can't have him. Why? Because we're not going to give him 30 grand a week. Fine, okay. Get me Jude Bellingham. We missed out. Why? Because Dortmund gave him a better financial package. Right, okay. Get me Erling Haaland. He's definitely what we need. We can't get him because we can't spend that money. And that's what's happening. It's not a sporting director. It's not a football director saying, Ollie, I think he's not the right player, but this is the right player. You just get a flat yes or no. Yes, we'll try and get him. No, we can't afford him. What you need is a sporting director. So that Ollie goes, get me Jadon Sancho. It's going to be really difficult to get Ollie at that price, and Dortmund are being a pain in the arse. However, I can get you Adama Traore, I can get you this young player that's coming through from France, I can get you this. I don't think I can get you Sancho, but these 4 players, tell me what you think. That's what a football director does. They don't necessarily get you everybody, but they do. That's what their job is. And we operate without one. We've got a manager asking for stuff and a bank manager saying yes or no. And then if they say yes, they spend 2 months negotiating. So It's really bloody frustrating, but it is what it is. Ollie was talking about Chelsea, of course. Very happy with that fixture. Also, just to let you know, we are interviewing James Cooper. Flex is interviewing now. He actually asked the question about Angel Gomes in the press conference. Sky Sports correspondent, very good connections with Manchester United Football Club. We're going to be asking him about Gomes, Jude Bellingham, the transfer budget for the summer. So that's going to be a very interesting interview this afternoon. But for those joining us a little bit late, please do smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Angel Gomes to leave Manchester United unless there's a really quick turnaround. And it does, as I said at the start, annoy me because there are plonkers out there pretending they've got sources, telling people for weeks that he's signing a new contract, that he's signed a new contract, and they're Barry bullshitters. They're absolute liars. It disgusts me because so many people believe it. And what I've said, and I've tried to find information out, is that Angel Gomes was looking like he might sign a new contract and negotiation was definitely going on, but he hadn't signed it. And lo and behold, he still hasn't signed it. And as Ollie said, yes, it looks like he's going. Yalvin Chopra, welcome, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Thank you for that. He spoke about Rashford a little bit. He said, Rashford, he was asked, is Rashford taking his time to get back to his best? I mean, Ollie didn't really want to talk about that, but he did say he's having his best season. I mean, actually, on MUTV afterwards, they spoke about Rashford and they were going, oh, and he's doing great work off the pitch. Look, Marcus Rashford deserves a knighthood for his work off the pitch, but it's on the pitch that Man United fans are interested in, and at the moment he is a bit rusty, but I've got no concerns about Rashford. I think that he's still got 2 assists against Sheffield United. Some of the things he's doing are just ridiculously brilliant, and I just think it's just match sharpness, and when he's sharp, he's going to be up there with Pogba and Bruno and Martial. So I've got no worries about Rashford. He was also asked about Luke Shaw. City are bookies' favourites to win the league next season, says Robert McCormack. I think it should be Liverpool for me. Praise for Luke Shaw. He's become a very important player for United. I mean, I'm not going to dwell on that too much. I mean, I'm a big fan of Luke Shaw. But, others aren't. No faith in them to do Sancho deal now, says Carl. We probably will do the Sancho deal because there's no competition for Sancho. When there's no competition for United, they'll drag it out and they'll get it done. Do you think United are just starting to get the most out of Matic, or has he always been contributing since he signed, says Genwell? Well, no, he clearly hasn't. And welcome to Alfie Oldfield, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Matic was crap last year. This year he's been very good. But don't forget, he's not going to be around forever. He's getting old now, Matic. We do need a centre defensive midfielder to come in. And Ollie was also asked about the top 4 race. I mean, I to be honest with you, if you've watched that press conference or you're watching the reaction to the press conference here, Ollie just didn't feel, as I said, non-verbal communication from Ollie was very flat. He just didn't seem himself. He spoke about the Chelsea game and he said it feels like we play them every week. We're really looking forward to it. He spoke about the top 4 race and, Brighton's a tough game and we've got to take it game to game. But look, he'll be feeling it. He'll be feeling Friday because he's a United through and through, and he'll be pissed off that Liverpool have won the league. He'll be pissed off that Man City didn't beat Chelsea on Thursday, and he'll be very pissed off that a player that he wants to keep. I mean, look, whatever you think about Angel Gomes, Ollie, however, and look, he should have given him game time over Lingard and Pereira, but he didn't. But he obviously sees him as part of his future, and he bangs the drum of the future. If you're Ole Gunnar Solskjaer this morning and you realise a player that is at this club, that is very talented, that everyone in the club knows is talented, is walking away for nothing on your watch, and you were looking at him as one of your players for the future, you're going to be disappointed because that whole plan, United don't just wake up in the morning and go, oh, what we're going to do today? There will have been a plan around Chong, there'll be a plan around Greenwood, there'll be a plan around Mengi, there'll be a plan around Gomes, and that has just totally gone. A player that was under his control, a player that could turn into a really valuable asset, is now walking out for nothing. So Ollie will be fully aware of what we're aware of, that's embarrassing. It could be compounded. I don't think he's going abroad. I think he's going to go to Chelsea. And if he goes to Chelsea, that's a massive win for Chelsea, and it's a massive blow for Manchester United. And that's the bottom line, isn't it? But look, we will move on. Of course, we'll move on. That's the way football goes. Dylan from Cork, new member. Welcome to Dylan, and welcome to Samuel McCall. Get your comments in then. What are you thinking? I mean, look, I've had my say. I need to come up for air. I've had my say on it. What are your thoughts on this? Isn't Lee Grant on 30k a week? Why not Gomes, says the legend killer. The wages to me are irrelevant. Anybody who says Angel Gomes ain't worth 30 grand a week, well, look, have a look at what we're paying some of our players. You know, even Luke Shaw's meant to be on around 200k a week. So, you know, it's all relative. We overpay on wages. We can't suddenly start saying, you know, you're not worth this, you're not worth that. And a player's worth what a player's worth. I mean, the danger, again, look, without going over old ground, why Angel Gomes is worth £30,000 a week is because United are stupid. His contract hasn't magically disappeared. It's been running down for 2 or 3 years. We should have renegotiated 18 months ago. And if we'd done that, I think we would have got him on 20 grand a week. But when you wait to the last few weeks of his contract, you will have Chelsea and other clubs saying he's probably worth about 10 million now. In the future, he could be worth 50 million. There's no signing on. There's no money to pay to Manchester United. So if we were going to pay, even if we were going to pay 5 million, we can definitely afford to give him a little bit more in his wages because we're getting him for free. And this is what happened with Ander Herrera. And this is where United are very thick. They let contracts run down and then they go, oh, we can't afford to keep him because someone else is offering big wages. But they're offering big wages because he's free. They don't have to pay his value. So they can go, you know what? We will offer you a little bit more than United because we want you and we haven't got to pay a transfer fee. So we'll use a percentage of that fee that we would have had to pay to put into your wages. So, of course, Chelsea and whoever it is are going to give him a little bit more than we want to give him. But this is the whole thing I've been saying for years about United and negotiation. They let contracts run down. And they do it because it's going to save them a bit of money. Because if you are on 200k a week and I'm Ed Woodward or whoever it is who does the negotiations, and you come to me with 2 years on your contract and you're doing well and you say, can I have a new contract, 250 grand a week? I would go, yeah, sign up like Man City do. But United will go, nah, because then we've got to give you 50k a week for 2 years that we wouldn't have to give you. So then you go to Glazer and you go, you never guess what? He wants 250k a week. But he's got 2 years left on his contract and he's on 200k a week. So I've said no, I'll give him the 250 in 2 years and we'll save 50 grand for 2 years. But what happens is their contract runs down, they get pissed off, they get unsettled, they speak to other clubs and those clubs will go, hold on a minute, he's a £30 million payer. We'll give him 300k a week because we're not having to pay the 30 million. And then United go, well, no, we're not paying those wages. But it's... And then they get sanctimonious. Well, we're not paying... We won't be held to ransom. But it's their idiocy in the first place that's caused the issue. You shouldn't let contracts run down. It's basic idiocy. And the only other club I know that does this, and wait for it, look whose company we're in with, is bloody Arsenal. You know, we're another club run by, I think, American owners who are all about money and just want fourth place. Well, surprise, surprise, our comparative club is Arsenal when it comes to contract negotiations. We're in great company, everybody. All he should care about is signing Jack Grealish, says Robert McCormack. I think Robert's... you're losing my respect. I'll come back when Angel Gomes is playing for some crap club like Yanasai is. Gomez clearly didn't work hard enough to deserve it. Yeah, but John G, you ain't listening, mate. You're justifying a play. You've gone into the bitter club. Angel Gomes is going to leave, so you're now saying he's shit. United aren't letting him go. This is the thing. People want to rewrite history. United aren't letting him go because they don't think he's good enough. They want him to stay. He's deciding to go because he's out of contract. There's no part of United that are going, we don't want you to stay, you're off. This is all about United wanting a player and him going, up yours, I'm off because I'm free. Like Bellingham, I don't want to come, I want to go to Dortmund. It's a failure. So you can try and justify it in your head that he's not good enough, he's shit anyway. Why are you not looking at the bigger issue? The bigger issue is, forget Angel Gomes. If you're going to get bitter about Angel Gomes, Ander Herrera, Erling Haaland, Jude Bellingham, David De Gea's contract, Anthony Martial's contract. The big issue here is not the player leaving, it's why these players are leaving, why they're getting so pissed off that they need to leave, because we're being run like a business and not a football club. And that's what's going on. Why don't they pay him 30k a week, extend his deal and then try to develop him and then sell for a fee in a year or two? Isn't that football and business together? Well, this is the thing. We don't do football and business together. Anyway, there is no team news. There wasn't any discussion of injuries or team news. It was very much a quick, sad interview from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer today. But please subscribe if you're new, bottom right-hand corner. Smash a like on the video. And get your comments in below. I'm sure you're going to get a lot of those. Juan says it's on Ollie. No loan and then 19 minutes all season. You see, some people might put it on Ollie, to be fair. And we've got an interview with James Cooper coming up at about 2 o'clock today where we'll be talking about what he thinks United's transfer budget is. And obviously this is Manchester United Sky Sports correspondent for the last 20 years. Very close relationships with Ollie and the club. So that'll be a very interesting interview in the fallout of this. Thank you very much for watching. Get your comments in below. Subscribe if you're new. And as I said, look, I'm not putting this on Ollie. And I think United can still get top four and do well this season. But what I'm worried about is, if you're going to build a future, how can you build a future when the manager isn't getting the negotiation deals done that he wants to get done? It's undermining what we're trying to build. We're all about the future, and then young players are walking away from us. It's hypocritical. It makes no sense. Thanks for watching. Speak to you all soon.